Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Matt and I like video games. And in this video I'm going to be talking about next-gen game prices and how Xbox Game Pass could tie into that. So stay tuned. Okay, so most anybody that uses Xbox Game Pass can pretty much agree that Game Pass is a great value, right? Well, heading into next gen, it seems that value will only increase for us consumers, because 2K announced today that their next installment in the NBA 2K series will be $70 on both Xbox Series X and PS5. And I gotta be honest and say that this price hike doesn't really come as a surprise to me, and I'm even less surprised that the first company to do it is 2K. I mean, I could make an entire video on how scummy and predatory I think 2K is for their microtransactions in gambling systems in their games, but that's not what this is about. It's about the very real possibility that these next-gen games could come at a $70 price tag. One guy I follow on Twitter who is an absolute OG Xbox diehard fan is TimDog, and he made a tweet asking, "Are you okay with $69.99 as the new entry point for next-gen AAA games?" I replied and said that it all depends on who's charging me that price. I definitely have a problem with NBA 2K charging me $70 for their games because I know their track record. These NBA 2K games are often released unpolished with bugs, and then they have a history of never fixing these bugs. But if a company like CD Projekt Red or Rockstar wanted to charge me $70 for one of their games, I'd have no problem with that because I know the amount of work they put into that game, and the production value of their games are very well worth the entry point of $70. Now, what does all of this have to do with Game Pass, you might be asking? Well, think of the Game Pass model. All Xbox exclusives day one. That right there is worth the $10 or $15 a month entry point for Xbox Game Pass. Even if the price of Game Pass were to rise from, say, $10 and $15 a month to $15 and $20 a month, or $20 and $25 a month, I'd still consider that the best deal in gaming. And the reason this deal is so good for me is because Xbox has a lot of studios that I really love and care about right now. I mean, 343, The Initiative, The Coalition, Ninja Theory, Obsidian, Playground Games. I mean, that's 6 studios right there that I'm going to be there day one for whatever they release. But then take into account the fact that they're always on the hunt to add big third-party games to their service. Look at games like Metro Exodus, Doom 2016, the rebooted Wolfenstein series, The Witcher 3, Red Dead 2. I mean, these are huge games that people love, and some of them, like Metro Exodus, joined Game Pass as early as 3 months after launch. If you're subscribed to a service like this and that's where you play most of your games, then that $70 entry point for next-gen games becomes much more palatable for you as a consumer. Let's say that The Initiative or The Coalition or 343 makes a game that costs hundreds of millions of dollars in production, and they slap that $70 price tag on it. Well, then you don't even have to worry about it because you can just open up Game Pass and download it right to your console for one simple monthly cost. But the really good thing about Game Pass is that you still have the option to fork out that money to support your favorite developer or support a favorite game of yours. I mean, there's a bunch of games that I initially played on Game Pass that I either bought on Xbox or bought on different platforms, like Metro Exodus. I played it originally on Xbox through Game Pass and I loved it, so I got it on PC. Ori and the Blind Forest, I loved it on my Xbox, I got it on my Switch. Like, there's a ton of games like that I have no problem spending extra money to support that developer if I really love the game. The point is that as games increase in production cost and retail price, then it's good to have a backup option like Game Pass at your disposal just in case you're unsure about a game, or maybe you don't have the money for that third-party AAA game that you've been eyeing, and then all of a sudden Microsoft makes a deal with the publisher or the developer to bring the game to Game Pass. I mean, you can even look at recent interviews from Sean Layden, who was the former president and CEO of Sony Interactive. He's gone on record telling everybody to expect prices to increase during this next generation, and I gotta say, I can totally see where he's coming from. I mean, think of the projects that he oversaw during his time at Sony. Games like Uncharted 4, Last of Us 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, Ghost of Tsushima, these aren't cheap games to make. I mean, even take a look at what Microsoft is doing with Halo Infinite. There's rumors that this game has a $500 million budget. Now, I don't think that's totally accurate, but I could definitely see Microsoft pouring hundreds of millions into a spiritual reboot of Halo. And these games are only going to get more expensive to make next gen as 4K visuals and high-res textures start to become the norm for console gaming. All in all, I'm not thrilled about a $70 price tag, but my whole point with this video is that services like Xbox Game Pass and even to a lesser extent PS Now really soften the blow of this possibly becoming a reality. But what do you guys think? What are your opinions on the possibility of prices increasing for next gen, and how do you feel things like Game Pass and PS Now will affect this, if at all? Or maybe you don't think that they'll affect it. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Leave a like if you liked the video, and please subscribe if you would be so kind. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.